Hey guys, today I'm bringing you two videos of me driving the STB and having some really wicked games that I really loved. And this one is a game unlike any other I've ever had before. I'm not sure I'm ever gonna have a game like this again, but I absolutely loved it. So I start by going to the Citadel because I want to see the big campers over there because they have some really big guns and they're bound to be here. But I also know that because they have really big guns that I need to spot and then just relocate straight away before those really big guns shoot me. So I relocate and then go back up, but then notice that I actually have company and I got one shot in before I start pulling back, but I know this is gonna hurt because the E50M actually pushes and he does shoot me and I know I can't shoot him in return. But it's okay because I have my team behind me and that means that I have pretty effective cover, if you will, because they are shooting the guys that are up here. And the third one has now appeared. The E50M already lost most of his health and the AMX does not have much health left, so he's hugging the building now, but I can still steal part of him so I can shoot him. And I know that by pushing forwards and then spotting and then pulling backwards again, I'm actually being a very effective medium. This is what we're made for. We're not necessarily meant to do all the damage ourselves, but we can make our team do the damage for us. And one of the main reasons that I love this tank so much is that it drives so smoothly, and I know this guy is gonna shoot me now the moment I peek out, but I can spot him again and then I can load one into him, and I just need to hope that my team actually does a lot of damage. And as the guy pulls back, he is hurt a lot and I miss my shot there, but that's okay because he's already lost most of his health as well. And I decide that I kind of need to be careful because, well, you still have the big guns over there. And even though the T-57 Heavy is no longer spotted, I do get a shot into the FV before I decide to relocate again. Because, well, again, I don't want to get shot by the big guns. And as I pull backwards this time, my camper is arriving with me, so I relocate and he pushes up. And I decide to spot the ones in the base because, well, as long as I'm careful with the Jäger and the FV, I can actually do some damage, but I do no damage because I'm useless. And then I just very carefully inch forwards because a big gun could really hurt me. But it's really not my mode of operation to actually be careful when I play, so I deactivate my auto aim, shoot and kill the E50M, finish a mission with that, and the E100 did not shoot me and he's actually pulling back. So I'm wondering what to do now, but the waffle has not been shot yet, so that means that the campers aren't there, because otherwise they definitely would have shot him. So I'm pulling forwards and then the tireless actually spots me as well, and he shoots me as I go down. Well, luckily the E100 misses me by a mile and I kill steal for 3 HP, which was totally worth it. So then I decide to go to the red spawn and actually take a shortcut there because I have enough HP left, and as long as I'm careful for the big guns I should be fine. But one big gun just died, the other one has been spotted, so I know I'm perfectly safe here. So it's just me and the tireless wherever he is. So I just go forwards because he can't one-shot me anyway, and he's definitely a one-shot for me. Then the Jäger dies and I know I have free game now because I will live. But I actually do no damage and just track the guy. And I get to reload as he bounces a shot or two, and I get to kill him off anyway. And I just love this match. I love spotting like this. I love showing what an altered role a medium can have. It's not just a brawler, it's not just a flanker. It's a look at them, shoot them tank. And I just want to show you all the damages that I did per tank. I got 4.5k spotting damage this match, which is just awesome. Now, I got no spotting damage on the FV, but look at this, I just got so much spotting damage. And these guys really hurt, but the kill steal just finish it off, it's awesome. And then I have this game, which shows me in a similar role, but it's slightly different. And as I mentioned, one of the reasons that I love this tank so much is the maneuverability. It just drives so smoothly. But not just that, also the gun depression on this tank is just amazing. And I find that in a lot of games it makes peek booming just a pure joy. And even though as a mat this tank doesn't have that much armor, the turret is pretty well armored, so that just adds to the effectiveness of peek booming in this tank. And I want to do damage, and at the moment I'm a little bit stuck here. I'm also not really capping the base, which you can see in the notifications because I keep driving in and out of it. But I do want to cap the base eventually, so I'm just gonna hold still and cap and see if I can do it. And in the meantime, I need to be careful of the guys that are driving over there. And I want to shoot this guy, but I actually miss him, which is just useless. And then we have the VK driving back there, and I know that I might be able to get some damage into him, depending on how he's aimed and angled his tank. But I missed that shot as well, which makes me not very effective. But at least I kept the base, so that's good. Now, the guy disappears out of sight, and I know I need to reposition. But I take a blind shot anyway, and I don't think it banned. So with so many enemies close to this base, I go forwards a little bit. But with the E100 there, I really don't like it. But he's not looking at me, which means that I can actually just get some free damage into him. But he has a mate, which is also not looking at me, which means that I can get a shot into him as well. So I just decided to stay here for a little bit longer to see what I can do. Because being like this, keeping them all spotted is equally important. And I bounced the IS-7, which is really lucky for me. And then I bounce on the IS-7, which is less lucky. And the IS-7 actually pushes forward quite a lot. And now I have the choice, either I go and shoot meds, or I go help my teammate. But I do get shot by the VK at base C in the meantime. But I also know that the VK has quite a long reload, so depending on what the enemy team does, like not look at me, it means that I can get some free damage. So I decide to push over and bounce a shot on my ass from the VK and start shooting the IS-7, which is totally focused on the E100, which is very helpful for me because it means I can just stand here and shoot him and just need to be careful of the VK that might shoot me in the bum. At the moment I don't want to go forwards too much because that would expose me and it would be harder for me to pull back into safe cover. The guy actually gets on fire, he ignores that, he's still looking at the E100, and then he even bounces on the E100 before he gets killed by RFV. Now at the same time the E100 here appears and is only focusing on, well, the E100. So I activate my adrenaline, get hit by the Death Star, and then decide to go after the Death Star, miss my shot, which is not very useful. But because he's just fired, I know that I have some time before he can actually fire again. I track him, get some nice tracking damage there, and just decide to push him, and I know I need to track him again, otherwise he's gonna shoot me again and that would be the end of me. But before he can actually shoot me, he gets killed. And that just leaves the VK that we know is at base C. So far I kept the only base, so I know I've got lots of supremacy points. I did quite a bit of damage, and it would be nice to add another kill to the list to see what result we can get from this game. But overall it just goes to show the versatility of the medium tanks, and I love that you can have them in several roles. And for me, being a spotter is equally as important as doing lots of damage, because both ways you're making a massive impact on the game itself, and you affect the results and everything. So don't be afraid if you don't do that much damage in a medium, because if you get the damage done, either by doing it yourself or having your team do it, it's all that matters really, because either way you win the game and you help each other. Now I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and I'll be seeing you guys the next time again.